Okay, I'm gonna cut right to the chase. If you even have the slightest chance of making and selling lasered items at a remote event, you need to get this WeCreat Lumos and the WeCreat AirGuard Mini Fume Extractor, or a different extractor if you have one. You gotta have an extractor. And this one does kind of rock. So seriously, stick around because I'm gonna take these both on the road. Okay, imagine being able to quickly pack your laser into the car and quickly head off to a remote location, quickly set up, and quickly start engraving and cutting quickly. Yeah, I said quickly a lot. That's because it is quick. It's compact, it's easy, it draws a crowd. It's a moneymaker. Did I mention it's quick? Hey honey buns, Roy here. Today we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna make some really cool stuff, but we're gonna make it at a local boutique using a portable laser. Not just any portable laser, but the WeCreat Lumos portable laser engraver plus the WeCreat AirGuard Mini Fume Extractor. Roy, did you say fume extractor? Yes, I did. If you're gonna be remote, you got to have a fume extractor. Not only does this mini fume extractor win the prize for durability, it also captures the fumes before they enter the air around the laser. This thing works flawlessly with the Lumos. Okay, let me set the stage. We're gonna grab the WeCreat Lumos and the fume extractor and my Beaver hat press along with a bunch of other necessities. I'm gonna pack up the car tonight and we're gonna head over first thing in the morning. Where are we going? We're going to the Cotton Company Boutique in downtown Wake Forest, North Carolina for their fall open house. It's one of those cool boutique spots where people come ready to shop. I'll be setting up on site and offering custom engraving on hat patches, keychains, bottle openers, and probably a few more things. We'll also be pressing patches onto hats with the Beaver hat press. I'll set everything up, we'll chat a little bit, I'll get some video of us making a couple of things, then we'll head back here to wrap it up with a post-event recap. It's gonna be a busy day. Let's get started and pack that car. So it's pretty easy to get everything packed into my car. I'm kind of packing it in like a sardine. This is my table, and I'll be using it to transport everything from the car into the boutique, and then also to put the WeCreat Lumos and the air purifier onto this car. We'll get this in, and then I can stack everything around it, and we will be good to go. Now I got to put a lot more stuff in there. These are the hats that I'll be taking. Yes, I take way too many. As we'll go over this now. These are some of my 7-panel and camo Lost Hat Company hats, and then a bunch of the Yupong 6606 hats. I have a whole bunch of vintage hats. And what else do we have? We have in here some more of the vintage hats, some of the Lone Star adhesive hats, and some dog hats. We'll do a video on dog hats soon. And lastly, I have Richardson 112s and then some bright colored ones. So yes, I know I have too many hats, but you know what? Better to have too many than not enough. Gives people an opportunity for a wider selection. I'm also going to have a whole bunch of leather patches in different colors, or leatherette patches in different colors, so people can kind of pick and choose. I have this bag, which is my airline bag from 1977. I'm kidding. This has all of my blanks in it. We'll open it up and take a look at it when we get to the shop. It will go back in here. Then this is a lot of pre-finished, already made patches that people can choose if they'd like. And of course, my Beaver hat press. I don't yet have a carrying case for the Lumos or the purifier. I will get one of those shortly, but for now we're just gonna wing it, and you know, it'll probably take up a little bit less space putting them in there like that. I just have to be careful as I drive over. And the star of the show, the WeCreat Lumos. I'm gonna set it very carefully right in here, and there will be enough room for that neat little air purifier to go right beside it. Let me grab that. This really is a neat little air purifier that WeCreat has. So we'll set that in here right beside the Lumos, and we got plenty of room. Now I got to remember to get the cables. That's important. One other thing that is really important is the leatherette, and I have cut them down into 3x4 inch pieces and put them into this box. I'll leave a link in the description on the carrying hat cases that I've got and this, but I can put all the different colors in here and make it somewhat organized. So very, very important. I have some other accessories that I'm going to gather and put in the car. But I've got my computer, I've got the iPad, I got a couple of cables that I need to make sure I've got, and then the Cricut hat presses. I have a homemade little ball that I made for some of the dog hats that I might be doing, and then a couple of other miscellaneous things, and then I will be ready to get in the car and head over that way. Let me get it packed up. Okay, I guess it's time to head out to an event. Let's do this. So we're here at the Cotton Company. I'm going to unload a couple of things that I didn't mention I was putting in. I need an extension cord just in case, probably won't use it. Of course, I've got my laptop and my iPad. I think I talked briefly about this. We'll go over it a little bit later. It's all my leatherette. And then a couple of the other things, I've got another extension cord and some other stuff we will go over. So it's time to get all this stuff out, get it set up so this WeCreat Lumos can make us some money. Let's do it. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit hot here in North Carolina. I'd be dead if I were in Florida right now. All right, let's carefully get this in and we're gonna get it set up. I'm sure I'll say this again, but this WeCreat Lumos is an amazing portable machine that is perfect to take to a show. I'm also gonna go over all of the other elements of doing a remote laser engraving event. So let's go and do it. So here's the deal. I was going to do a time lapse on setting this thing up, but I honestly think we can do it real time because I think it's going to be that fast. I do need to get a table and we're almost set up. Can you believe it? Let me move John the mannequin. I don't know if that's his name. I'm going to set it over here eventually, and we are going to hook up the WeCreat Lumos to the fume extractor. That easy, done. All I have to do now is get the cables, connect them both to my power outlet that I have here on the side of this cart, and we will move this over to here. So it's by itself so I can be pressing while I'm still engraving. So let me get it set up. It won't be but a sec. So I'm telling you, the setup was crazy easy on this. I plugged it in with USB to the computer and then I set up the Wi-Fi and it's working perfectly fine. We are in business and we are making patches at the Cotton Company in Wake Forest, North Carolina with our WeCreat Lumos. Okay, so I am working on a design for someone who came into the shop who has a dog. And well, let me start with, this is the dog hat that I just finished making, and I'm working on the matching adult hat right now. We'll see how this turns out with our fantastic WeCreat Lumos laser engraving awesome machine. This WeCreat Lumos is working flawlessly along with the fume extractor. It's easy setup, like I said earlier. We're finished. It is it's fantastic. It's very safe because of the fume extractor. If you're going to do an event, you definitely need to get some sort of fume extractor. I highly recommend this one. It works very well and it's a very compact, small unit that makes for easy traveling. So this design was requested on one of the camo hats. Now what I'm going to do, just to show you, we've got the WeCreat Lumos sitting right here.
I'm going to put the eye tape. You don't really have to, but these have been set for a while, and the leatherette curled up a little bit, so I taped it down just to make sure it's in focus. I have the design. I'm going to hit refresh on the computer, and then it will take a photo of the thing. Okay, so what I want to do is select all of this, and then I'm going to center this a little bit on. It might be a little bit big, but I'm going to make it anyway because they seem to think that that patch fit them well. So the engrave I've got set to 9300 with a line density of 120. I can collapse that, just check my path, which is the cutting. I got cut and I'm set for that. So it's not ignored, and this one's not ignored, so we can lower this. I'm going to turn on my fume extractor, and we're going to hit start. And I'm getting a G code error right now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, all of these, and if I click here, it selects all of the paths. And then I'm going to go to merge, and I'm going to merge graphic shapes. And that'll make it into one path. And if I do that, I should now be able to, yep, it takes that G code error away. And I hit start. And this is going to engrave and cut all at the same time. So we are up and running. Once that's finished, we'll clean it off a little bit and put it onto a hat. So this thing has really impressed me with the ease of use and the ability to bring it out here. If you have any place you can go, especially as we're gearing up for the holidays, any markets or boutiques or fairs or anything like that, if you've got this WeCreat Lumos and a fume extractor, you are pretty much good to go to be able to personalize and make custom hat patches, metal bottle openers, wood keychains. I've got a bunch of stuff here I'm doing today. So definitely it frees you up to be able to do a lot of work at remote sites. So it's doing a wonderful job. I'm very impressed with this Lumos. Okay, while the WeCreat Lumos has done most of the heavy lifting, if you're going to do a patch onto a hat, of course you have to have the hat press. I'm using my trusted Weaver hat press along with the Cricut form. I did another video about that. I'll put a link in the description. We're going to put this is a Lost Hat Company hat. I'm really happy with them, and we're going to put this on there. So let's get this ready. Okay, tighten this up a little bit. I'm going to get the Cricut form, set it in there so this is nice and solid right here. And then we are going to heat the hat up. I do 320 degrees for 40 seconds. So I'm gonna let that heat up. Okay, 40 seconds of pre-pressing the hat. I've got the patch. I'm gonna pull this up and I align it by sight. I'm usually pretty lucky. Get that in the middle. And because it's heated up a little bit, the patch should stick somewhat to the hat, at least enough for me to do that. And we'll let it press for 40 seconds. And it should be good. It's a pretty big patch, so I'm going to come down and press the edges for probably 15 or 20 seconds just to make sure that that patch is on the hat really well. Okay, I press the top just a little bit too, just to make sure that this patch is on here. I'm using Lone Star Adhesive Heritage Collection. I think this is the walnut, and I am a huge fan of theirs. And this is the Lost Hat Company hat. I just ordered some of these the other day, and I am going to order more this afternoon. Beautiful, beautiful hat. And here are a couple other of the Lost Hat Company hats right here. Can you see that? And then some really nice camo 7-panel hats that they have. Plus, let's see, what else do they have? They have some really nice hats. So I'm going to definitely order some more from them. This is for a customer here at the Cotton Company that will be around in just a little bit to pick it up. We are about finished at the Cotton Company, and I've got to tell you a special thank you to Sierra, the general manager of the Cotton Company, for putting on this open house. There are a bunch of vendors here. It's been really busy, a lot of customers, some potential customers, and this WeCreat has been amazing. It's the WeCreat Lumos along with the fume extractor, the little mini fume extractor, phenomenal. It's worked really well. I've not smelled any fumes in here. We've been able to knock out a bunch of hat patches, attached them to the hats, as well as some, did this for Mike. And of course, to beer or not to beer, that's a silly question, Shakespeare. So we did some of those. I did a couple of these little keychains, and we've had some happy customers. Again, the WeCreat Lumos has knocked it out of the park. It was easy to set up, and it's, I know, going to be very easy and quick to break down. So let's go back to the studio and recap.
Okay, let's recap. The fall open house was a huge success, and the WeCreat Lumos and the AirGuard Mini Fume Extractor performed perfectly. They're portable, reliable, and powerful enough to handle live engraving all day long. If you're thinking about doing craft shows, markets, fairs, or boutique events, this setup is definitely a game changer. Let me talk about some of the other things I used, but first, some of the things I didn't have but needed. Good signage. My vendor space is in a really nice location just inside the store, and I was there with my setup talking to everyone that came in, even people that didn't want to talk. That's just me. But there were a few people that I talked with for a minute or two before they realized what I could do. Maybe a sign as simple as customize engraving while you wait. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. I needed a dedicated case for my tape, wiping cloth, totally awesome, and all the other accessories. I used a cardboard box and it just didn't work like I would have liked. I think another one of those Pan Am flight suitcases will work perfect next time, and I got one. I needed to spend more time setting up the display. I just tossed some things out and it didn't look quite like it should have. I'm also going to add a cloth to the front of the cart to hide all the gack on the lower shelves next time. You know, I may even build a side shelf to create a display area for products when I'm not doing an event. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm going to do. We'll do that next time. Now let's talk about what I did take that really helped out. This plastic storage photo box works perfectly for the leatherette patches. I have individual little containers that I've got labeled with the patches. I pre-cut them all to 3 inches by 4 inches so they fit perfectly in the organizational cases. I also wrote the settings on the back, and each one of them has a material test, so if I need to know anything on the spot, I've got it. And each one of them also has a test patch, and I have the exact same one for each of the colors. That way I could show a customer, well, this is what a patch looks like in this color. That same patch looks like this in this color. So that really helps a lot. And don't forget your material test arrays, even if you got your settings from somebody online like me. Always do that material test array. I know this isn't the most efficient use of the leatherette, but it makes for a super easy workflow when you're out and about. You can just grab it and figure out what you're going to cut, and you know what it's going to look like, and you set it in the laser and you're done. I have my handy dandy 1968 Pan Am Stewardess suitcase for my other blanks. I love this. It helps me know exactly where all the blanks are. I highly suggest to, one, not use a cardboard box. They're really flimsy, but definitely get you a dedicated case, box, suitcase, whatever, to store all of your blanks so you know exactly where to go when somebody says, I would like this or I would like this. And let me show you real quick what is in these. I have a ruler in the back. This is some of the examples that I can do. I typically lay them out on the table. These are some little wooden keychains that I have, a whole bunch of those with, of course, an Alive Pixel Creates jig that I don't go anywhere without. I have a bunch of Lone Star adhesive leatherette coasters round ones and square ones. We'll talk about this in a second. I have some of these, the Lone Star adhesive leatherette keychains, some of these metal can openers, can opener, and then the bottle-shaped can opener. I'll leave a link in the description of all of this product and where you can get it. Some dog tags. I didn't even bring these out though because I didn't feel like it. Anyway, so since I'd like to keep track of special event sales, I made these tags with a special event barcode to give the customers so they could take up to the cashier and then easily check out. It saves me time having to print out the labels. They have my little shop logo there and then the labels on the back. This particular store uses a software called Ricochet, so this is what works best for me. You'd need to adjust how you collect the money given the circumstances that you're in. But you know what I always say, and if you don't, here it is. Don't ever let anything get in the way of someone wanting to give you their money. Figure out the payment plan ahead of time. Whether you're using Apple Pay, PayPal, Venmo, or whatever, make sure you're good to go before you get there. And make sure you have enough options so that customer can always give you their money. I also have a bunch of pre-cut patches I carry around in this little case. You know, I can quickly make a hat if somebody sees them. I lay them out on the table. We'll talk about this in a second, but I didn't do a very good job of laying them out this time. And the reality is these end up being more of a conversational piece than they are to be used. But every once in a while someone will pick it out and say, hey, that's exactly what I want, and I want it on a hat, and this color hat. So I make it for them. I also have 4 of these hat bags. I love them because they're not expensive. They transport the hats wonderfully, and they're great for storage when I'm not doing an event. And yes, I will be doing more events. Speaking of that, Sierra, the Cotton Club general manager, has asked if I could come back somewhat regularly for the holiday season. So beginning in October, I'll be there every other week until the Saturday before Christmas, plus Small Business Saturday, the day after Black Friday. Each time I go, I'm going to focus on different things, but I'll always be able to laser anything I've got. This time, it was hat patches and hats, and some bottle openers and keychains. I'm sure I'll be focusing an upcoming event on dog hats and personalized dog tags / collars, an event featuring magnetic can holders, Great Lakes Laser Supply, expect an order real soon. And I'll focus at least one event, probably 2, on personalized jewelry. Monarch Pines, you're gonna be getting orders too. I'll definitely have a recap video at the end of the season, but I'm certain I'll be able to pay for this laser and fume extractor and have a ton of money left over with the profits from this event I did today, plus the 7 upcoming shows that I have committed to. Think about that. All you need to do is find a location, which can be a little bit difficult, but focus on it. The rest is easy with this WeCreat Lumos. And I get it, finding that location, it's not always the easiest thing to do, but go out there and find something. It's worth finding a spot to be able to do these events. Okay, let's talk pros and cons. Pros, I know I've said it, but this WeCreat Lumos is super portable. Setup was easy. The engraving quality is top notch. Cutting out patches was flawless, and people were really impressed that they could tell me what they wanted. I could create it in the WeCreat Make It software, laser engrave it, and send them on their merry way in mere minutes. Cons. There were literally 0 cons with taking this WeCreat Lumos and the mini fume extractor setup to the road. 0. Everything worked flawlessly. The event was definitely a success, but there are a couple of cons with doing a remote event. You need a setup. I was fortunate enough to have a metal AV cart that fit perfectly in the car, and my hat press is also super easy to transport. You also need a remote location to go to, but I think if you're watching this video, you may already have some ideas. Think craft show, local gift shops and boutiques, fall, winter, and holiday markets, and so on. And you definitely need a solid fume extractor for events like this. And thankfully, the AirGuard Mini did a great job. Without it, let's just say Cotton Company probably wouldn't want to invite me back. And it would have been unsafe for employees and customers. Bottom line, this video may sound a little bit like a commercial for WeCreat. It is not. I'm just becoming really impressed with this laser. I absolutely recommend the WeCreat Lumos for anyone wanting to take engraving on the road. Or even if anyone doesn't have a lot of room and wants a small compact laser, this thing is pretty awesome. No, this thing is really awesome. Thanks for coming along with me today. Don't forget, like this video, subscribe, and click that notification bell so you won't miss any more tips and tricks, recommendations, how-to videos, small business thoughts, and more. Thanks so much. Have a great day. I'm sure I'll be focusing on upcoming event. Take one. But makes for super easy workflow when you're out and included a sample patch along with the material. In this case, patches to patches.
Let's do it. And then a couple other miscellaneous things, and then a couple other.
Take one. I'm gonna sing something. I'm gonna sing for you. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again.
Wait.